Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chat with Brandy, a weekly show where we talk personal and business finance, taxes, and how to make money doing what you love. I am your host, bookkeeper, and tax preparer Brandy Miron, and this is episode 19. Happy Love Week, you guys. It's Valentine's Day this week, so my family always celebrates by decorating the house. We do a scavenger hunt with our kids, and we just generally talk about love a lot this week. So I hope you guys have a loving holiday and that you just have a good week in general. So 2 weeks ago, so I skipped last week, 2 weeks ago we talked about getting prepped for tax season. And for those of you that own a business, that is also going to mean bookkeeping. So even whether you're a sole proprietorship or a corporation, there's going to be some form of bookkeeping that needs to be done. Whether you want to handle that on your own or through a bookkeeper, something has got to happen there. So I kind of wanted to talk to you today about what a typical client process is with me when I am doing bookkeeping services for them. So first of all, let's talk about the definition of bookkeeping. So bookkeeping is the activity or occupation of keeping records of the financial affairs of a business. So as soon as you start a business, you should be keeping track of every transaction that goes through that business. So whether that's income coming in or expenses going out, no matter how small, every movement of money in and out of your account needs to be recorded. Depending on the volume of these transactions, you may or may not be able to handle this yourself. Many entrepreneurs feel like they can do it themselves at the beginning. And then they start to begin to struggle with either having the time to do it or the motivation to do it, or knowing whether or not they're doing it right or properly. Or sometimes everything is smooth sailing, but your business is growing past the point of DIY bookkeeping, and that is usually where I come in. Now, I do have a preferred software, so you may meet bookkeepers that use other types of software than I do, and you may meet bookkeepers that work with all different types of software. I have made the choice in my business to really focus on QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. So I feel like I've had so much experience with those softwares in particular and certifications with them that I feel like I have spent most of my time really learning about those products, where if I spent a lot of time in different types of software, I might just be sort of good at all of them, whereas I am really an expert in QuickBooks and QuickBooks Online. So if I do meet a client who is using a different software, I'll either encourage them to move over to QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, or I will, advise them to find an expert in their particular software. Now, obviously, the basic knowledge of bookkeeping is the same regardless of what kind of software you're using, but I wouldn't want to charge somebody the extra time that it's going to take me to learn the product that they're using. I just don't really think that that's fair, so that's why I kind of work in that wheelhouse. I have clients that I do absolutely full service bookkeeping for. So they bring me basically a pile of paperwork that's not organized at all, and I will do it from start to finish. So I will organize all of their receipts, usually by category or sometimes by month. It kind of depends on the client, but typically by category. And I will put it into a filing system that works for them. And then I will input all of the transactions into a double entry accounting software program. So QuickBooks is the one that I use. And then I basically produce a statement at the end of it. So I'll produce an income statement and a balance sheet for them that they can use for tax purposes or also just for the purposes of knowing what has happened in their business. I also have clients who do most of their own work, and sometimes, usually a lot of the time, they'll be working in QuickBooks Online and they'll just run into some issue where they're like, I don't understand why my bank isn't reconciling. I don't know what category this receipt goes into. I don't know if this receipt is even expensible, that kind of thing. And in those cases, I will just have a phone call with them. We'll usually do a screen share, and I will just talk them through the problem that they're having, provide some training on it, and then away they go. So I do kind of both ends of the spectrum and then everything in between. So I really customize my services to whatever your needs are. There is a full range of the scope and level of services you may require, and that will be individual to you. But you should know that no matter who you work with, your bookkeeper should be making sure that you are maximizing your knowledge and staying within whatever budget you have set. Okay, so for me, I work with a lot of small businesses. That is definitely my area of expertise, and a lot of the times these businesses are very focused on their bottom line, which is exactly what I encourage. And so for that reason, they maybe don't have a huge budget for accounting. And that is great because we can still work together. We can still make sure that you are in compliance of Canada Revenue Agency and that you are doing your books correctly, but you can still save money by doing a lot of it yourself, okay? In this episode, like I said, I'm going to walk you through a typical appointment with me and how a relationship would develop. So in the onboarding process, so basically when I first meet a new client, I always offer a discovery call or a meeting. So this consultation is free, usually takes about half an hour, and it's where I learn about you and your business, what has happened and what has not, and basically what your level of need is. From there, we can develop a plan together to get you on the right track. Sometimes this is as simple as getting access to your QuickBooks Online file so I can address a concern you have, like I say, or sometimes this is you giving me 6 years worth of paperwork that you have not looked at since 2012 when you started your business, right? And we're starting from scratch. I've seen both many, many times and everything in between, and none of it scares me, and I am happy to help you with any of it. So just know that no matter what your situation is, no matter how bad you think it is, there is something that we can do to solve it, okay? During our meeting, I will present you with a customized checklist of items that I need. So this is quite individual, but as a general reference guide, I do have a handy checklist on my website. It's the bookkeeping checklist, and it contains some common items, but the essentials are bank and credit card statements, expense receipts, sales invoices, and in some case, an authorization to your online Canada Revenue Agency tax account so I can see exactly what you owe, and it makes life easier when doing your filings. There are many options on how to get these items to me. You can arrange a pickup or a drop off. You can go virtual and scan items to me via Dropbox or HubDoc or even right through the QBO app. My job is to make your life easier. So whatever of those options makes your life easier is what we are going to do, okay? And then once that part of it is over, what you can expect from me is once all the documents are sorted, categorized, and entered, I will present you with financial statements. And I am quite proud to say that the financial statements that I offer are very easy to understand. So I don't give you 27 pages of general ledger. Like, I will give that to you if you want it, but the main statements are very easy for anyone to understand. So it's going to lay out your income and it's going to lay out your expenses. This is also a great opportunity for me to estimate what your taxes payable will be so that you can start on your savings plan there. When working with me, you will discover that I want you to be able to understand your own financial situation. So for that reason, I provide the statements that are easy for you to understand, and my job isn't done until I know that you have a firm grip on how your business is doing, and we always focus on profit. Questions are welcomed, and I love the opportunity to teach and enable your growth. And then as an added service, I prepare and file GST returns and payroll remittances, or I can just prepare them for your preferred accountant to file. All services are completely customizable, and I work with CPAs a lot. So if that is preferable for you, that is something that I offer as well. All of my service prices are listed on my website, and consultations are always free. No matter how dire you feel your situation is, there's going to be steps that we can take to get you into a better situation, okay? So that was that part of the video. So I also wanted to talk to you guys about the future of this Chat with Brandy show. So I have been blown away with the amount of positive feedback that I've gotten and the people saying that I've helped them, and yeah, it's just been great for me, and I love being able to educate you guys. And I think that one of the reasons I was put on this earth is to be able to extend knowledge to other people and make sure that you guys can go out there and do what make the difference that you're supposed to make. So that being said, I do want to continue on with the Chat with Brandy show. I still have lots of knowledge that I want to give you guys on lots of different topics. And I think I'm going to start focusing more on bringing guests onto the show so that they can share knowledge that I don't have with you guys on things that I think would be useful. That being said, the next couple of episodes, so there's 2 more episodes in February that I'm going to be doing, and they are going to cover what you need to know as an employer. So everything from payroll deductions, CPP, T4s, WCB, all that stuff. We're going to talk about over 2 episodes. And then I'm going to be taking a season break. So that will wrap up season 1 of Chat with Brandy. I will be taking a season break from March to April. I will be very, very busy during that season. Things will be getting heated around here during personal tax season. So hopefully I will be seeing a lot of you guys during that season, and I probably will share some old videos and know that I'm still around and that I'm still willing to talk to you and answer questions. I just won't be preparing videos during that time. I will be back for season 2 in May, and I'm so excited to start that new season. And like I said, probably have a lot of guests on and just lots of new information. And if you have ideas or things that you want me to cover, please feel free to email them to me or send me a private message on Facebook. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful week full of love, full of hearts, and I will see you next week. Bye.